in their next game.
MD, modern medicine.
You know, some interesting.
Champions heart. These boys out here world champions. If we want to do what we want to do and get what we got to get, we got to go through this house. They got to go through this house.
Sometimes you got to take what you want. That's what we want. We got to take it. Let's go. Now we going to take it. Take it on three. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, take it.
Yes, Bob. Well, the Dallas Cowboys are ready. Here come the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's week 8 in the National Football League. The 5-1 Cowboys take on the defending Super Bowl champions, the 3-3 Bucs. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Kenny Albert along with Darryl Johnston. Dallas Cowboys finished 5-11 each of the last 3 seasons. Darryl, who would have thought the 2003 Cowboys would start the year 5-1?
They have exceeded everybody's expectations up until this point in the season, even their head coach, Bill Parcells. And although they've had impressive victories over the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants, he still feels that they haven't had an opponent who's come out and punched them in the mouth. He's going to face one of those types of football teams this afternoon. And with the injuries in the secondary, you would expect the Cowboys to try and throw the ball on a large basis this afternoon. But Coach Parcells feels that if they have to throw the ball consistently, they can't win. Expect him to go back to his philosophy of pounding the football, establishing a running game, taking time off the clock, and controlling the tempo of the game.
Darryl, on the other side, Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost only 4 games all of last season, but they've started this year 3-3, and they have not yet won here at home.
And you can justify the loss to the Indianapolis Colts and the Carolina Panthers to break down to specific points or specific groups in the football game. But last week against the 49ers, they were just flat out beat. They were out-hustled. The 49ers made plays. The Tampa Bay offense, 4 turnovers all season, has 4 last week. But on the defensive side of ball is the area that they are struggling the most. And that group has been a model of consistency for 5 or 6 years right now. They are missing assignments. They are missing tackles. And with the youth in the secondary and the new faces, that will be a big challenge for them this afternoon.
And today in the secondary, Tampa Bay will be without both Brian Kelly and John Lynch. The opening kickoff is coming up. The Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next on Fox.
Watching the NFL on Fox.
Welcome back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Time now for our Sprint Virtual Coach Question. You can register your vote by using your PCS Vision phone from Sprint or by logging on to foxsports.com. We used our PCS Vision phone yesterday during our meeting with Cowboys head coach Bill Parcells. Set for the opening kickoff. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston and Tony Saragusa. Dallas Cowboys 5-1. They've won their last 5 games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-3. Darryl just 0-2 here at home. Overtime losses to the Colts and the Panthers.
I think earlier in the year we looked at this game and we were going to find out a lot about the Dallas Cowboys, but we're also going to find out a lot about Tampa Bay this afternoon. Derek Ross back deep for the Cowboys along with Avion Cason. Zuriel Smith inactive, not even on the trip, as Grammaticus kickoff taken at the 1 by Ross, his first kick return of the season, and he's upended at the 24-yard line. 23 yards on the return. Tim Wansley made the special teams tackle. Quincy Carter, career high 3 touchdown passes for the Cowboys in the win over Detroit last week. And Flozo Adams is going to play a big part today. They're going to try and help him on Simeon Rice, but there'll be times when he's going to be one-on-one with their best pass rushers. Cowboys, the only team in the NFL with 3 receivers up over the 300-yard mark. Terry Glenn, Joey Galloway, and Antonio Bryant. Cowboys start from their own 24-yard line. And they begin with 3 wide receivers. Troy Hambrick, the lone back. And the give is to Hambrick on first down. And he gains 3 out to the 27-yard line. Greg Spires made the tackle for the Buccaneers. 11th ranked defense. Simeon Rice with 8 sacks. Time for the NFL lead.
Shelton Quarles returned last week after missing the first 5 with a broken arm.
And we've touched on all the changes in the secondary, but the biggest key today will be how Jermaine Phillips plays for the injured John Lynch.
Richie Anderson, the fullback, takes the handoff out to the 33-yard line. Gain of 7, stopped a yard shy of the marker. You mentioned the injuries in the secondary. Jermaine Phillips filling in for the injured John Lynch, and Tim Wansley making his first NFL start for the injured Brian Kelly, who was placed on injured reserve this week.
But when you look at this one-gap scheme that Tampa Bay plays, the key positions, the 3 technique of Warren Sapp, the weak side linebacker of Derek Brooks, and that strong safety, John Lynch's position.
Hambrick is hit for a loss on 3rd and 1. He loses a yard. Derek Brooks lost his helmet. First Buccaneer in to make the stop. So Hambrick bottled up on 3rd and short.
Well, with all the injuries in the secondary, Bill Parcells staying true to his word. He's going to come out and establish the same style of offense that has been successful for him during this 5-game winning streak. He wants to pound the ball. He wants to establish an identity. And that has always been a way that you would play against the Tampa Bay defense. But at some point today, he's going to have to get the ball down the field and take advantage of that inexperience in the secondary.
Toby Goen punting from his own 20. Tim Wansley in single safety for the Bucs. Lets it bounce. And it is down at the 35-yard line. Only a 33-yard punt by Toby Goen. Buccaneers ranked 3rd offensively in the NFL, as their offensive unit is led out by 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback Brad Johnson, tied with Brett Favre for the NFL lead. 13 touchdown passes. Roman Oben broke his hand earlier this week in practice, but he does make his 100th NFL start. Pittman and Cook in the backfield. Johnson and McCardell, the wideouts. And the tight end is Ken Dilger. 1st and 10 Bucks, 35-yard line. Pittman up the middle for a gain of 3 for Roy Glover. Got a piece of Michael Pittman, setting up 2nd down and 7. Cowboys defense ranked 1st in the NFL. Buccaneers go to the hurry-up offense. From the 37-yard line, it's Pittman again. Out across the 40 to the 41. Stopped about 4 yards shy of the marker by Greg Ellis. 3rd and 4 upcoming.
This is a way that Tampa Bay likes to control the tempo of the game. They will come out and go with some no huddle. They'll go on some quick counts and not allow that Dallas defense to adjust to formations. Try and get them in positions where their play is going to match up better and not allow the secondary and the linebackers to get comfortable.
2 tight ends for the Bucs. 3rd down and 4. The pitch to Pittman. Michael Pittman is brought down. Game's just 1. Dat Wynn made the tackle for the Cowboys, so the Bucs go 3 and out.
Oh, what a nice play by Dat Wynn. Here he is right here. Watch him run through. He's going to take out the guard. He's going to run right through Cozy Coleman and make the tackle on Michael Pittman. When that play started, it looked like they had an easy 1st down. Dat Wynn makes a nice play, defeating the block and making the tackle.
Tom Tupa out to punt for the Bucs. Joey Galloway, who has not returned to punt all season, back deep for the Cowboys. Galloway with 4 career punt return touchdowns early in his career with Seattle. Takes it at the 16 and steps out of bounds following a 12-yard return, 42-yard punt. No score here in Tampa.
Days brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
Back in Tampa, Tony Siragusa, you won a Super Bowl in this stadium. Are you feeling all warm and fuzzy today?
I'll tell you what, this is my first time back. I had the chills actually coming through the tunnel. But I was walking around on the field, a little perspiration. As you know, I'm not in my best shape right now. So someone told me to come up here to the beautiful Love Boat. I think that's the name of this place. And it's a lot cooler up here, getting a little bit of wind and feeling pretty lovable right now.
Looking lovely with those beads.
Thank you very much, guys. So exciting.
Where will we find Tony next?
Only time will tell.
Tony, of course, a member of the Ravens Super Bowl winning squad. Defeated the Giants here at Raymond James Stadium.
If he has to go downstairs to get down to the field, I think he's going to be in that boat the rest of the afternoon.
They take the boat down. From the 28, Troy Hambrick. Gain of 2 out to the 30. Ryan Neese in on the tackle. So the Cowboys have run on all 4 of their offensive plays.
Well, they weren't going to change their philosophy, but at some point you have to look at a weakness and find out if it is a weakness. Find out if these guys in the secondary that are playing out of position or playing for the first couple times starting a football game are ready for the challenge, because Joey Galloway, Antonio Bryant, and Terry Glenn, you saw in the pregame show, that is as strong a group of 3 wide receivers as you'll find in the NFL.
Hambrick across the 35, first down out to the 45-yard line as he ran right up the gut for a gain of 15 yards as we check in for the first time with Chris Rose in Los Angeles. Chris?
All right, Kenny, we have our first touchdown of the day. Matt Hasselbeck, 4 of 5 for 74 yards on the opening drive. This one covers 46 yards of real estate to a Tulamili. And the Seahawks, 5-1. They're up 7-zip in the Queen City. Back to Kenny, Daryl, and Tony.
All right, Chris. Chris handling the duties out west today with JB and the boys in Pittsburgh, watching the Rams and the Steelers. 6th consecutive running play, and this time Hambrick gains only 1. Jermaine Phillips came up to make the stop, setting up 2nd down and 9.
Well, some of the formations that we have seen from the Dallas Cowboys over the last few weeks, you will know that they're going to come out and run the football. This is going back to the old power I in college. Here's Dan Campbell, your tight end, Richie Anderson, your fullback. There's no hiding what they're trying to do now. The big thing is, let's get into that same look and throw some play action off it. You've come out, you've been pounding the ball. Eventually, we've got to test this secondary, use some play action off of some of the looks we've already shown you.
Now 3 wide receivers. Off the play fake on 2nd and 9. Potter over the middle, complete to Anderson in Buccaneers territory. Brought down at the Tampa Bay 49, gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Cowboys.
And I think that's an area where Quincy Carter has matured the most. He's not trying to force plays. He's starting to understand not only the game of football a little bit more, but the plan that Maurice Carthon, Sean Payton, and Bill Parcells are trying to execute during the game. He's going to check the ball down. He's not going to make the critical mistake that turns the ball over or gives the opposition a short field.
And there is Sean Payton, assistant head coach and quarterbacks coach for the Cowboys. On 3rd and 4, play action as Potter hits Anderson once again, and he stopped a yard shy of a first down. Brought down at the 46-yard line by Ryan Neese. So it will be a 4th down and about a half yard.
And that was great Tampa Bay Bucs defense right there. The things that they do best, the discipline in the scheme, the speed of not only the linebackers, but also the defensive line. Greg Spires in position on the bootleg, doesn't allow Quincy to get out and really force the corner. And then when the ball is thrown, the pursuit to the ball. The one thing they did not have last week against San Francisco was a lot of pursuit to the ball.
Carl Williams back deep for the Bucs. They'll be going 2nd punt. Fair catch called for at the 15-yard line by Williams. 31-yard punt by Goen.
Sunday is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Fans having a good time here in Tampa. Buccaneers and Cowboys scoreless midway through the first quarter. Bucs start with an empty backfield from their own 15-yard line. And now Aaron Stecker shifting into the backfield. On first down, play action. Brad Johnson to the air for the first time. And the pass caught by Michael Pittman for a gain of 4, wrapped up immediately by Dat Wynn.
One of the things that Coach Parcells was worried about was the ability of this offense to expand and contract. They came out with an empty set with wide receivers and running backs spread out throughout the formation. Now they'll contract back into a more traditional set. What they're trying to do is trying to confuse the defense and also find out which personnel group and what formation they will go to a basic scheme against. You see them here. They came in contracted. Now they've expanded back out.
Second down and 6, empty backfield. Johnson's pass was behind the intended receiver, Keenan McCardell, former Buck linebacker Al Singleton on the coverage.
And what they're trying to search for is what formation, what personnel group did Dallas not really prepare for this week, and all of a sudden will jump into a base package. Once they find that matchup out, then John Gruden will exploit that package with his full complement of plays he can call from that set. But the only problem is, I think Bill Parcells prepares for everything during the course of the week. So that might be a futile search.
Now the Bucs have all 3 wide receivers split to the left. Johnson on 3rd and 6. Pass was deflected at the line. And the Buccaneers forced to punt once again.
He is a much different quarterback when he feels the pressure around him. If you allow him to stand in the pocket untouched, he will pick you apart down the field and hit big plays as the game goes on. The Dallas defensive line and linebackers in their pressure package, if they don't get the sack, just let Brad Johnson know that you were real close on that play, and he'll start to throw some incompletes.
Buccaneers go 3 and out for the second time. Tom Tupa back at his own 5. Went to the Pro Bowl back in '99, punting for Bill Parcells with the New York Jets. End over end. And Galloway lets it bounce out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
There are 3.
Back in Tampa, Cowboys and Buccaneers still scoreless. 6.5 remaining in quarter number 1.
Looks as though both teams are trying to feel each other out, find that soft spot. It has become a defensive battle, which we both thought. Both of these teams playing a one-gap scheme. Mike Zimmer actually stealing some of Monty Kiffin's secrets.
Richard Anderson. Greg Spires right there, no gain.
We've talked about the one-gap defense. Everybody in this defense has a gap, and you have to stay in that gap. You have to play your responsibility. John Lynch will drift down into this formation. That is his gap right there. But what you're going to see happen is when you lose gap control, like right here, 94 and 47 both go into that same gap, the ball will always find its way back to the spot where the man is out of position. The most important thing here, John Lynch, look at him as he turns around right there. He was in proper position. It was actually Greg Spires who got into the wrong inside gap.
And that, of course, from last week's game between the Buccaneers and the 49ers. Play action on 2nd and 10, and Carter's pass is caught. And then lost the handle. It's was ruled down at the 45-yard line, so Dwight Smith will have to bring it all the way back. Play was blown dead at the Tampa Bay 44.
Tampa Bay thrives on taking the ball away from the opposition's offense. You have got to finish the play in this situation.
Now, if he was ruled down by contact, it is not reviewable.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass and down by contact.
And that could not be challenged, Darrell.
We've got the red flag out. John Gruden threw the flag. They will pick that up and give it back to him because he cannot challenge this play. Once it's ruled down by contact, it is unreviewable. Dwight Smith comes in on the hit. There you can see Joey Galloway's knee is down. The play is over. He takes the ball at that point. Good call by the officials.
John Gruden threw the flag, but that is not reviewable once the official rules down by contact.
Challenging the ruling on the field that the receiver caught the ball. We'll review the play.
So you can review whether or not the catch was made, but
Tampa Bay will not be able to get the ball in this situation. It is either going to be a first down for the Cowboys. It will be 3rd and 10 for the Cowboys. So all they're looking at in this situation is whether Joey Galloway actually made the catch, not whether Dwight Smith took the ball away from him.
Now, the ball never touched the ground, so I don't know in what instance the officials will be able to say that it's not a catch because the ball never hit the ground.
Well, once Joey Galloway's knee touches the ground, the play is over. So if he has possession at that point, then the officials will rule it a catch. If they cannot determine whether he had complete control of the catch when his knee was down, they will go with the call on the field. So this is Dallas there's his knee on the ground. The ball comes loose afterwards. I think the officials will rule this a completed pass.
So the question is not whether Dwight Smith wrestled the ball away from Galloway, because Galloway was ruled down by contact, and that is not challengeable or reviewable. But once John Gruden threw the flag initially, the red flag, he then asked Bill Carollo to check out whether or not Galloway had possession. But because the ball never hit the ground, because Smith took it away after Galloway's knee was down, I don't see any way that they can rule this an incomplete pass.
The one thing being down here on the sideline, guys, is the whistle never blew, and I think that's a little bit of why Tampa's a little upset about the whole play. We didn't hear any whistles of the play being dead.
But Tony, once Carollo down by contact, even if he did not actually blow the whistle, in Carollo's mind, Galloway was down by contact.
And Bob Wagner, the back judge, walked in and marked the ball down at that point. And that's why you have to finish the play. You can't, if you don't hear the whistle, if you see the defender all of a sudden going down the sideline, and Dallas was very late to react. The offensive players were very late to react to that situation.
Remember, there must be indisputable visual evidence that Galloway did not have control for this to be ruled an incomplete pass. John Gruden awaiting the interpretation from Bill Carollo. Darrell, I agree with you. I would be shocked if this is overturned.
It seemed as he had possession when his knee was on the ground, and for that point on, the play is dead right there. Whatever happens beyond that point, and that looked as that was the time that Dwight Smith pulled the ball out of Joey Galloway's possession.
After reviewing the play, it has been determined the receiver went up, caught the ball never hit the ground, and that's what was challenged, whether the ball hit the ground or not. Joint possession is not a reviewable play, only if it was an incomplete pass. Therefore, the ruling stands in the field, a completion, first down. Timeout, Tampa Bay.
Well, the fans don't like it, but you and I certainly agree with Bill Carollo.
And then the big thing, what was he challenging joint possession, which is unreviewable, and that was an area that we really weren't even thinking that John Gruden had thought, because looking at the replays, it appeared that Joey Galloway had the possession, the knee went down, and then Dwight Smith pulled the ball from his arms.
So the Buccaneers lose a timeout, they lose a challenge, and the ball certainly never hit the ground.
And now on this series, for the first time in the game, the Dallas Cowboy offense is starting to go down the field in their passing game. They came out the first two series all running plays, but now they're starting to use some of those same formations and those same actions in their play-action game. And that is the area that they are most dangerous. That is where Quincy Carter throws the ball the best, is off play action, on the move, bootlegs, and different things like that.
Quincy Carter now 3 for 3 to the air on first down, and the pass is short. Intended for Joey Galloway. Simeon Rice got a piece of it at the line.
Troy Hambrick does a real nice job. He's the tailback right here. They're running play action. Watch, he's going to come out. He is on Simeon Rice. Everything's going to turn away. He's going to be out there on an island. They're going to have a lot of people coming at Simeon Rice, but it's going to be Troy Hambrick who is responsible. Does a good job, hangs on, keeps him from getting into the quarterback. They will do a number of different things to keep Simeon off guard and off balance all afternoon.
3 wide receivers on 2nd and 10. Hambrick gains just 1. setting up a 3rd down and 9. But first, we check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
All right, Kenny, the Giants have been stuffed in recent weeks. Last 2 games, just 6 points total in the first half. But here they get 7 on their opening drive. Kerry Collins to Ike Hilliard. They're up 7-3 on the unbeaten Vikings. And in Pittsburgh, 1,000th game in Steelers history, but it's Pittsburgh native Mark Bulger lighting it up. 36 yards to Torrey Holt, his 4th straight game with a TD. Back to Kenny, Moose, and Tony down in Tampa.
All right, Chris, 3rd down and 9. Cowboys have to get to the 33 for a 1st down. Carter steps up and then dumps it off to Troy Hambrick. And Hambrick, terrific second effort, picks up the 1st down on 3rd and 9. Hambrick gains 11.
Oh, what a great effort by Troy Hambrick, and a smart play by Quincy Carter. He's got nothing open downfield. They're going to run a play action, give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers some other things to worry about. But watch as he looks. He's looking downfield. There's nothing there. Give your player an opportunity to make a play, and here comes the missed tackles again. Ryan Neese is right there to stop that short of a 1st down, and Troy Hambrick moves inside, gets enough yardage to keep those chains moving.
Troy Hambrick grew up in South Florida. Has 50 friends and family members at the game today. 1st and 10 from the 32. Carter rolling right. And the pass caught at the 26-yard line by Terry Glenn for a gain of 5. Glenn coming off his first 3-touchdown performance last week in the 38-7 win over the Lions.
He's been a great addition. You talk to the people that have come to this organization this year. Terry Glenn, Dan Campbell, Richie Anderson. Those are the guys that everybody was talking about that have made an impact on this offense. A lot of the guys were starters at some point before Bill Parcells got there, but he added some key pieces to the puzzle. Terry Glenn, Richie Anderson, and Dan Campbell being the ones that people talk the most about.
Campbell coming over from the Giants. Richie Anderson, the longtime Jet. Here's Hambrick. Down to the 22-yard line, gain of 4. Stopped about a yard shy of a 1st down.
Dallas continuing to keep the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense off balance. And one of the things, you've got Jason Witten right there going up against Simeon Rice. They will give him a lot of looks. That's a heck of a job right there by Jason Witten. One-on-one with Simeon Rice, and that's what they want to do. You want to run at a guy who's a speed guy. You don't want to run the other way against Simeon Rice because of his ability to chase things down from behind along the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 1. Hambrick. Looks like he was stopped about a yard shy. Rondé Barber along with Nate Webster.
2 critical short yardage plays so far, and the Dallas offense has been stuffed. Here's going to come your pressure. Rondé Barber off the outside, filling it in. You've got everybody hitting that gap. They had penetration, but in 2 critical plays early in this football game, we've had the Dallas Cowboys in short yardage, and they have come away with nothing. The negative running plays have been one of their Achilles heels all season long.
So Billy Cundiff, who has hit 12 in a row, out to attempt a 41-yard field goal. Well, he had hit 12 in a row. Cundiff missing from 41. We remain scoreless here in Tampa.
You gotta stop right there. Good girl.
Today Sunday is brought to you by the next Ford F-150. Built Ford tough. By Circuit City, we're with you. By HP. HP Technology Services and people help make more things more possible. And by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
Welcome back to Tampa. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Tony, you've made your way down off the pirate ship.
I'm back down here on the field where it's about 100 degrees. Sweating a little bit. You know, talking about that last drive as far as the Dallas Cowboys, I got a chance to talk to Maurice Carthon, the offense coordinator who I had a chance to play with when I was with the Colts. And he says what he wants to do as an offense coordinator is get a lot of reps to try and wear down the Tampa defense. And even though they didn't get any points out of that last series, I think he's accomplishing what he wants to do. He's wearing them down a little bit. I see them a little sluggish out here.
And that's something the Cowboys have been able to do, Darryl. Second in the league in time of possession.
And Maurice Carthon had to go against this Tampa Bay defense twice a year when he was in Detroit. And that has always been the plan coming in. Pound the football in the first half, wear down that undersized, quick defensive front, and then take your shots in the second half.
Second down and 7. Buccaneers have gone 3 and out each of their first 2 possessions from the 34. Johnson looking for McCardell. So it will be 3rd and 7 for the Bucs.
Dallas on the sideline going over some of the things that Tony's talking about right there. And one of the things that they're going to have to do, they're going to have to start getting to that second level. And the big area of concern right now has to be the short yardage. I mean, they've had the opportunities to sustain drives. It leads to a missed field goal on that last one. And although they are wearing Tampa Bay down, you have to take advantage of every opportunity when you play this team.
3 wide receivers, 3rd and 7. Bucs have to get to the 41. Johnson in trouble. He lost the football.
Kenyon Coleman just missed a great opportunity to give his team a chance for a short field. Greg Ellis continues to work, gets the hand on him, knocks the ball loose. Now watch 93, Kenyon Coleman right there. Fall on it. Don't try and pick it up and run with it. Fall on the ball. Give your team an opportunity. You see that ball on the ground. You've got to secure the ball first. He's thinking about running right now, and he doesn't get the ball secured. Another opportunity missed by the Dallas Cowboys. A missed field goal and now a chance for a short field.
Instead, Buccaneers will punt. Cooper's 3rd punt. Makes the Buccaneers roll out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
Stands and looks and throws to the end zone. Juggled, caught, touchdown, Antonio Bryant. Unbelievable.
10 seconds remaining first quarter here in Tampa. Well, to stop a weapon that has no cure, you need a man who knows no limits. Tuesday, Kiefer Sutherland returns with a new season of 24, presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150. The season premiere of 24, Tuesday, right here on Fox. Darryl, we talked about time of possession. Cowboys second in the league so far today. They've had the ball 10 minutes. Buccaneers under 5.
But it's what you do with the ball when you have it for that amount of time. And right now it's 0-0 and hasn't paid any dividends for the Cowboys.
Cowboys missed a 41-yard field goal on their last drive. They start from their own 29. Everett loses a yard on first down, and that will do it for the first quarter here in Tampa. Cowboys and Buccaneers are scoreless. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages. We get set for the second quarter here in Tampa. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Cowboys and Bucs are scoreless. Darryl, we asked Bill Parcells yesterday if he's surprised at the Cowboys' 5-1 start. He said, I didn't know what to expect.
He said his biggest fear was starting out 1-5, but his second biggest fear was starting out 5-1. So I think he's always felt that there was more talent with the Dallas Cowboy football team than he expected. Now he's just adjusting. He's got to now raise his expectations for this team.
There's Hamrick on 2nd and 10, losing a yard. Rondé Barber coming up from the right corner.
So far this afternoon, we're seeing the defense played the way we always see Tampa Bay play it. Speed to the ball, pursuit. Last week against San Francisco, look at some of the things that happened. The most yards allowed, the most rushing yards allowed, the longest play. You know, big plays are something that doesn't happen here. So areas that they have been successful in and year out. They struggled last week against the 49ers. And you could look at the Indianapolis Colts game and find an area, or the Carolina game. But last week, they were just flat out beat.
Gennaro DiNapoli, the Cowboys center, is down.
We got a problem up here.
Brought to you by Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck. By Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. By Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. And presented by Coors Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Cold down easy.
Cowboys rotate their centers by quarter. Gennaro DiNapoli injured on his first play, so Matt Lair, who played the entire first quarter, comes right back in.
Good to have a guy that's changing positions, so you're not down to a guy who's not used to playing on Sunday afternoons. But with this heat today, I'm sure that they'd like to be able to have that rotation still in place.
3rd down and 11. Cowboys have to get to the 39 for a first down. Carter with time, and the pass is intercepted by Jermaine Phillips. Phillips making just his 3rd NFL start in place of the injured John Lynch. He was a teammate of Quincy Carter at the University of Georgia, Darrell. In fact, he was one of his wide receivers.
Well, he used to say that he threw the ball to Jermaine Phillips at Georgia, but I don't think he wanted to be throwing the ball to him this afternoon. And Jermaine Phillips plays that play great. It's a double move. He does not bite on it at all. Quincy Carter throws it to the spot. Jermaine Phillips breaks across Joey Galloway's face to make the interception. Again, the discipline of the defense. You can see from that angle, Quincy Carter's got to get that ball out in front of Joey Galloway a little bit more and let him run underneath the ball. He gets it back where Joey's got to wait on it. That gives Jermaine Phillips enough time to get back into the play and make the interception.
So it's not the first time Phillips has caught a ball thrown by Quincy Carter as Pittman takes it inside the 20. Gain of 5 after Phillips returned the interception, 41 yards.
And one of the areas that Bill Parcells wants to see how his team responds is to adversity on the road. They did a great job on Monday night versus the Giants, hanging in there and winning that game on overtime. But he's still not convinced. He wants to see what this group will do. They've got an opportunity to prove something right here on the defensive side of the ball by holding them to a field goal or actually taking the ball away in the red zone.
2nd down and 5. Michael Pittman inside the 15, inside the 10, down to the 4-yard line. 1st down and more as Pittman gains 15 yards.
You watch him on film, and he is running so hard. You're not going to bring him down. One guy cannot bring him down. That's why you've got to get people to the ball. Great blocking up front. You see the seam right there. It gets picked by the official, but look at the vision, the ability to anticipate Terrence Newman coming across, spins back against the grain. You got to get guys around the football when Michael Pittman is running.
And Darrell, that was the first down for the Buccaneers today. From the 4, Pittman pulls his way down to the 1-yard line before he was tackled by Leonardo Carson. And Warren Sapp coming in on offense along with Anthony McFarland. As we have seen on occasion earlier this season in similar situations.
Well, they are a very athletic defensive front, so John Gruden not afraid to use that athletic ability on the goal line, and they're not just coming in to block. We've already seen Warren Sapp catch a touchdown pass this year.
Darian Barnes in at fullback. And penalty markers on 2nd and goal.
Oh, what a huge penalty right there. Huge penalty. I think we'll see Warren Sapp and Anthony McFarland going back to the sideline.
92 offense. Simulating the start of the play. 5-yard penalty. Still
it is McFarland who costs the Bucs 5 yards.
He had his opportunity to get in there. Might have been a little bit excited. It's actually Anthony McFarland that has illegal procedure. So off they come. I don't think you want those guys in there at the 7. A little more inside the 3-yard line type guys.
You mentioned Sapp with a touchdown earlier this season in Atlanta. He's caught 2 passes this year. Sapp and McFarland back to the sidelines. 2nd and goal from the 6. Johnson looking for Keenan McCardell, incomplete.
Trying to run a little stop fade on the outside. Keenan McCardell against Mario Edwards, and that play is so difficult to defend if you had the opportunity to rep it between wide receiver and quarterback. Just a little out of sync right there. Keenan McCardell is going to come off the ball, look like he's running a fade to the end zone, and then he's going to stop and come back to the pylon. Mario Edwards does a nice job in coverage.
Darrell now 3rd and goal. Coming into the game, Buccaneers with the top red zone offense in the NFL. 11 touchdowns and 14 trips inside the 20. Johnson, McCardell along the goal line, made the catch, but he was wrapped up by Terrence Newman. Just inches away, and here comes Sapp and McFarland once again.
Watch Brad Johnson hang in the pocket, and he makes an incredible throw because he's got everything breaking down in front of him. He's got guys hanging as he's getting hit, and look at that fit. There are 3 Dallas defenders. That is a high-risk, low-reward throw. Brad Johnson finds a way to get it in there to Keenan McCardell.
But Darryl, 4th and goal. Sapp and McFarland back in on offense.
Michael Pittman jump now.
Wow. 4 flags.
Oh, John Gruden's going to be going crazy.
32. Offense, similar to the start of the play. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So on 2nd and goal, McFarland moved early, and now on 4th and goal, it's Pittman.
Your coach rolls the dice. He's going to give you a shot to go for it on 4th down, a chance to really steal all the momentum in this game, and a lack of concentration by Michael Pittman. And it goes back to the things that everybody's been talking about. During the losses this year for Tampa Bay, usually a very disciplined, very assignment-straight team has really struggled in things that are within their control.
And now Martin Gramatica, who has not attempted a field goal the last 2 games. He has not made a field goal the last 3 games. This is a 24-yard attempt. Gramatica now 4 for 8 on the season. But the penalty called on Pittman on 4th and goal cost the Buccaneers a potential 4 points.
Okay, we got 3rd and very long. What's the plan?
Hold on. Their defensive back Miller's nursing a pulled hammy, so go deep. Love you.
Miller's got a pulled hammy. Go deep. Love you.
Get what you need from the internet faster. Get SBC Yahoo DSL for just $26.95 a month when you sign up online. And
Fox.
Warren Sapp out for 2 plays on offense along with Anthony McFarland, but the Buccaneers penalized in both instances.
You know he's having a talk with both Anthony McFarland and Michael Pittman. You know that he's excited to get in there and possibly have a chance to have his number called.
But the Buccaneers do score first. 24-yard Gramatica field goal. Ross takes it out from 5 yards deep. Derek Ross on the return. And a good one out to the 27th. 32-yard return by Ross. Cowboys back on offense in a moment.
Bell Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention.
Back in Tampa, Warren Sapp, 2 chances in offense. Buccaneers penalized both times, Tony.
When Michael Pittman jumped off sides that last time, Warren Sapp was as mad as I've ever seen him. I'm willing to bet everything that I had that he was going to be the guy to get that ball. Being an athletic guy as he is, most defensive linemen, you only get so many shots in the NFL to score touchdowns, and that was one shot that he missed.
Would you be willing to bet that shirt you're wearing?
No, it's anything but the shirt.
Defensive linemen are the go-to guys in 4th and goal.
All right, Cowboys start from their own point.
I think Anthony McFarland is overshadowed. He's going to account for people. They keep working him. His helmet's gone, and he's back in pursuit. But Anthony McFarland is one of the steadiest guys in this defensive front. And you'll hear Simeon Rice's name called a lot, and Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp. But I tell you, number 92, play after play, down after down, is wreaking havoc.
2nd down and 12. Out to the 29-yard line, Richie Anderson. Tony, you were telling us yesterday you think Warren Sapp is actually underrated.
Let me tell you something. When we went to the Super Bowl in the year 2000, I studied Warren Sapp, every sack that he made. And there was no player in the NFL that I've ever seen, Lawrence Taylor or anybody, that was more dominating than Warren Sapp was the year before and that year. Now, as far as what he's doing now, might have changed up a little bit, but that guy is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
All right, Tony, and he's gone to the last 6 Pro Bowl from the 29. Carter complete out at the 34-yard line, but Tim Wansley was right there to make the tackle on Terry Glenn. So the Cowboys will punt it away.
And you didn't want a 3-and-out right there by that Dallas Cowboy offense. They had the turnover. Their defense came in, held the Buccaneers offense to a field goal, but they needed to come out and do something to give that defense a break. It's a warm afternoon today, so much so that Bill Parcells, for the first time this year, activated 8 defensive linemen. He wants to keep that rotation, but this defense is not used to being on the field as long as it could be today if this offense doesn't get on track.
Darrell, Buccaneers rotating their punt return men. We saw Wansley and then Carl Williams. Now Wansley getting another chance from the 14. Looks to come to the outside, and is tackled at the 21 by Dexter Copley. 51-yard punt, 7 on the return.
On the pregame show today, you heard Joey Galloway say he's never seen a player improve more in one season than Quincy Carter has from last year to this year, and that's one of the reasons right there. Sean Payton has done a great job with Quincy, along with Maurice Carthon. And I think you're starting to see it now. He's starting to get the confidence. And once you have a quarterback who's confident in the plan, confident in his abilities, he's going to do some things that he hasn't done in his career up until that point.
And Quincy Carter told us yesterday he's seen what Terry Collins is in such confidence as Pittman takes it out across the 25 to the 26, gain of 4. Buccaneers, Darrell, with only 1 first down so far. And we are 6.5 minutes into the second quarter. Cowboys have allowed the fewest first downs in the NFL.
Well, this is a group that doesn't really get a lot of credit because of the improvement on the offensive side of the ball and what those wide receivers have done. They're getting a lot of the attention, but this group has been solid for years. Monty Kiffin actually praised defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer on the job that he has done, utilizing his own system with the Dallas Cowboys personnel.
Mike Zimmer, a holdover from the Dave Campo regime. McCardell picks up the Bucs' second first down of the day. And Maurice Carthon was the only coach who had worked with Bill Parcells previously. The others were either already in Dallas or brought in having not worked with Parcells in the past.
And he's been complimentary across the board of his staff. You know, he came in with a lot of unknowns, but you know, he has been very pleased not only with the personnel on the team, but also the staff that was assembled. As you pointed out, a lot of guys that he did not know. He's become big fans of the way they have coached and taught these players this season.
Flea flicker, Pittman, back to Brad Johnson, wide open. The tight end, Ken Dilger. Dilger inside the Cowboys 20. 48-yard pass play on the flea flicker from Johnson to Dilger.
And that's what happens when you are undisciplined in your assignment. Ken Dilger does a nice job of selling it. Darren Woodson bites up on the fake. But how many times do you see a flea flicker designed around a tight end? That is the reason why plays are successful. You do things that are uncharacteristic. You hand the ball off to Michael Pittman, you throw it back to Brad Johnson, but number 85, Ken Dilger, your tight end, is your big play guy.
Buccaneers had gained 36 yards on offense up until that point. Dilger gained 48 as Pittman bottled up after a short gain.
It's all about taking advantages of the opportunities, and you will set up a play, you will wait and watch how the defense is playing until you feel that that play has an opportunity for success. And as we've seen these teams kind of feel each other out here during the first half, at some point John Gruden must have saw something, and he got one over the top of Mike Zimmer's group.
Buccaneers in the red zone for the second time, held to a field goal due to a couple of penalties. Under 6 minutes remaining, second quarter, 3-0 Tampa Bay. Pittman inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line, brought down by Willie Blaine.
It's just so much fun to watch both sides of the ball on defense and watch how these guys fly to the ball carrier. And one of the things that happens is number one, you're going to have an opportunity to recover the football if there's a fumble. And it doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt you to have your own guy on the other side. Keenan McCardle actually might have gotten credit for that tackle. But Monty Kiffin was disappointed last week with his group. You'll see it today from both of them, and we're seeing it with Dallas because it's a similar system. Pursuit to the ball. Good things happen when you have a lot of guys around the ball carrier.
Buccaneers 0 for 4 today on 3rd down. Johnson off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Keenan McCardle. Tampa Bay now 0 for 5 on 3rd down as John Gruden sends out the field goal unit.
And they're continuing to get pressure on Brad Johnson, make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket, and it's an area that the Dallas defense has really improved at. Over the last couple of seasons, they don't still have that dominant pass rusher, but all of the guys, because they're playing a more aggressive downhill style of defense on the front line, very solid across the board.
Martin Gramatica hit from 24 earlier. This a 32-yard attempt from the left hash. Top Koopa, the holder. Gramatica now 2 for 2, but there is a flag. There is a penalty marker.
And have running into the kicker on Terrence Newman. 4th and 5 up on the scoreboard. This will be interesting. It'll all come down to the spot. Warnsapp might get his chance, Tony, on 4th down again.
I know he's praying.
He's halfway out onto the field.
Running into the kicker, number 41, defense hitting his kicking leg. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's a 1st down.
Well, Terrence Newman, the rookie 1st-round draft pick out of Kansas State, is called for running into the kicker. And it gives the Buccaneers, Darrell, an automatic 1st down.
And Terrence Newman really did everything well. He's going for the block point. He's not going towards the kicker. He just catches Martin Gramatica's kicking leg. He's waiting for somebody to come on his team and back him up.
Little trash talk from Martin. So an automatic 1st down. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Michael Pittman. Pittman gains 2 down to the 7. So on the Buccaneers' last possession in the red zone, they were hurt by penalties. 2 penalties. One on McFarland, the other on Pittman. This time on a field goal attempt. Thanks to a Cowboys penalty, the Bucs get an automatic 1st down.
Very deflating to your defensive group to have made the stand, hold them to 3 points, and then all of a sudden you're right back on the field trying to keep that touchdown off the board.
Todd Yoder, backup tight end, shifts into the backfield. On 2nd and goal, Johnson rolling right, looking end zone. He throws, and it's a touchdown. Keyshawn Johnson came down inbounds for the Buccaneers touchdown, only his 2nd this season. Keyshawn, who had great success playing for Bill Parcells in New York. In fact, this week you said Parcells the best coach he ever played for.
Well, one of the reasons that Coach Parcells likes him is he never gives up on the play. Look at Keyshawn going up against Terrence Newman. Terrence has got his back turned to him. Right now, he gives him a little move. He doesn't know where Brad Johnson is at that point, and Keyshawn does a nice job moving downhill along the sideline. He gives Brad Johnson an area to throw the ball where only Keyshawn can catch it.
So the Buccaneers held to a field goal on their last drive due to penalties. And this time, they kick a field goal due to a Dallas penalty. Get to continue their drive and now lead 10-0. Buccaneers now leading the Cowboys 10-0 following the 7-yard touchdown pass from Brad Johnson to Keyshawn Johnson. Big play on the drive. The flea flicker, 48-yard pass from Johnson to Dilger, and then, of course, the penalty on Terrence Newman.
And we're still trying to find out. I don't know why that was an automatic first down, because the yardage came on a carry by Michael Pittman. It wasn't on a 5-yard penalty. Obviously, with 5 and 5, you're going to get the automatic first down. That ball should have been placed 5 yards, and then the chain should have come out to measure the distance.
Here's Derek Ross on the return. Ross brought down at the 26-yard line by Darian Barnes, 24 yards on the return. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Some of you will see the Saints and the Buccaneers, Redskins and Cowboys in Game 2 of our doubleheader, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox.
I mean, roughing the kicker is going to be 15 yards and an automatic first down, but running into the kicker is just 5 yards. So with the 5-yard carry by Michael Pittman, or the carry on first down, you have to walk off the 5 yards, and if it's close, you got to bring those chains out and measure it.
Instead, the Buccaneers were given the automatic first down. Now the Cowboys start from their own 26-yard line, and the quick slant is caught by Joey Galloway. Gain of 7 out to the 33. Rondé Barber made the tackle.
The Dallas offense has got to settle down now, get back into a groove, get some plays, string some plays together, keep that defense off the field. This is a team that has really controlled the tempo of games. They're second in the NFL in time of possession, and what that means is their defense doesn't spend a whole lot of time on the field.
Monty Kiffin, Bucs defensive coordinator. On 2nd and 3. Potter, incomplete. Off the hands of the intended receiver, Antonio Bryant. Corey Ivy, the Buccaneers nickelback, on the coverage.
Starting to see some uncharacteristic things from this Dallas Cowboy football team this afternoon. Drop passes, some key penalties, the things that Bill Parcells has done a good job. You see right there how they're struggling on third down. It's an opportunity for more snaps. It's an opportunity to extend the drive. It's an area that if you're going to be successful as an offense, you've got to be much more proficient than Dallas has been to this point.
Cowboys have won 5 in a row. 3rd down and 3. Potter takes off and has the first down out to the 38-yard line.
And that's a concern for any defense when you go up against a quarterback who is mobile in the pocket. You can have everything covered downfield, but if you're in a defensive call that leaves that middle of the field with a huge void in it, Quincy Carter has got to be able to exploit that. It's up to the defensive tackles in their rush lanes to be conscious of the fact that they've got a quarterback who has the ability to make first downs on his own if he doesn't like what's open downfield. Anthony McFarland and Warren Sapp have to not allow that middle of the field to become visible to Quincy Carter.
Tight end Campbell shifting on 1st and 10 from the 39. The give to Hambrick, and Troy gains 4 out to the 43 before he was tackled by Shelton Quarles, setting up 2nd down and 6. Time winding down in the 2nd quarter. All the scoring here in the 2nd. Martin Gramatica, 24-yard field goal, and then a 7-yard touchdown pass from Brad Johnson to Keyshawn. We saw Hambrick exit to the sidelines. Richie Anderson, the lone back, and he takes the handoff on 2nd and 6. Went up over the top, and then a good second effort, close to another first down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Here in Tampa, the 5-1 Cowboys trailing the 3-3 Bucs 10-0. Back in Tampa, 2 minutes to go, 2nd quarter. Kenny Albert with Darrell Johnston. Tony Siragusa downstairs. Buccaneers have taken advantage of a couple of key plays, the Phillips interception and then the flea flicker for their 10-0 lead.
And that's what this game is all about, is taking advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. And Dallas has not done that. They've actually contributed to a lot of Tampa Bay's success up until this point offensively in the first half. So it's going to be very important for them to put something positive together here, possibly get some points. But the worst thing is to give that ball back to Tampa Bay and give them an opportunity to get more points and build that momentum for coming out in the second half.
Total yards pretty close. Third down and 1. Rondé Barber coming up to make the stop, knocking Richie Anderson out of bounds after a loss of 2, forcing another Cowboys punt.
That has been the area in the first half that Dallas has really missed some opportunities. That's the third and short yardage situation that they've been into with an opportunity to extend a drive, and they've come up short. 2 negative runs before that in those situations. This one, a negative reception. So they're losing yards in these third and short situations. That is going to be the one thing, the biggest thing that Bill Parcells will have to correct at halftime.
Overall, Cowboys just 2 for 8 on third down. Going for a little too much on it. 54-yard punt. Net of just 34. So the Bucs will start from their own 20. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, scores and highlights from around the National Football League, and the Fox Sports Ticker has up to the second scores and stats. That's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report. Buccaneers with 2 timeouts. They lost 1 on the unsuccessful challenge. Larry Allen on the Cowboys sidelines.
That last play looked as though both Larry Allen and Andre Garrard both a little bit shaken up. So both the guards, we've already had Gennaro DiNapoli go down at the center position with a sprained ankle. So the Dallas Cowboy offensive line getting a little banged up in this first half.
For the Bucs, Darryl offensively, Brad Johnson 6 of 11, 74 yards and a touchdown. Michael Pittman 41 yards on the ground, averaging over 4 yards a carry. And here is Pittman on first down. Gains 2 after the 22-yard line. Dat Nguyen made the tackle for the Cowboys.
John Gruden coming out running the ball on first down. Seems content to go in at half 6 with a 10-0 lead. We see no sense of urgency from Brad Johnson or this Tampa Bay offense.
Buccaneers letting the clock wind down. Second and 7. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. The pitch to Michael Pittman. And Pittman, solid run, picks up a first down, gains 10 out to the 33-yard line.
You know, it always happens like that. You run that first play, it doesn't break, it doesn't put you in a great position. You come back with the second one, you get the first down. Now all of a sudden, there is a sense of urgency from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they've let almost a minute go off the clock.
Johnson's pass incomplete. Clock stops at 33 seconds.
I just feel you've got to come out with the decision already made from the sideline. Okay, we're going to run the first play. We're going to throw a screen. We may do something that's conservative in its play call, but if we have success, anything positive, let's get up on the ball. Let's see if we can get that critical first down that builds momentum in a 2-minute situation. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense did nothing like that. And then all of a sudden you're trying to hurry, but you look back and you wasted so much time. You might as well now, at this point, the decision was made in how much time they spent in the huddle. Just get out of the 2-minute situation and go in at half up 10-0.
Johnson over the middle, complete for another first down. Carl Williams, gain of 13, and now the Buccaneers call timeout with 27 seconds remaining.
My name is Sergeant Mike Leeper. I'm currently assigned to Pakalua training area on the Big Island of Hawaii. My MOS is 51 Tango. It is Technical Engineering Supervisor. Right now, our job is to move 25,000 tons of rock to build a road. What's so tough about that? The rock is on a volcano.
4 soldiers. 5 tons of dynamite. 1 volcano.
Fire in the hole!
Mike's story continues. Only at GoArmy.com.
Buccaneers started this drive on their own 20 with 1:45. They had 2 timeouts. They wasted a good 30 to 40 seconds.
Closer to a minute. Closer to a minute after that first play, between that first play and then Michael Pittman's consecutive carry that got the first down that jump-started their thought process.
Johnson complete out at midfield to Aaron Stecker. And now the Bucs use their final timeout with 20 seconds remaining.
Eight. 5. 2.
23.
Hello, Moto.
Buccaneers have gained 30 yards. They're out at midfield with 20 seconds to go in the half. Coming up at halftime, the Visa Halftime Report. Scores and highlights, Fox Sports Ticker. That's coming up at the half. Buccaneers have used all of their timeouts. Johnson rolling right. Incomplete, intended for Keyshawn with 16 seconds. Buccaneers have scored all 10 of their points in this second quarter. Darryl, coming into the game, the Cowboys had dominated the second quarter. They had outscored their opponents 61-7.
Not the case this afternoon. It is a process of what their style of offense is. They come out, they go through the first quarter, they're searching, they're feeling everything out, they're trying to get into a rhythm, into a flow. By the second quarter, they've got established what they want to do with their game plan, but Tampa Bay's defense has taken that away from them this afternoon.
We're down at 5. Johnson pump fakes and then is taken down.
He fumbled it. You get it back?
Looks like Brad fell on it.
You see the hit right here. He's got the ball out. Eric Abagu comes by. He does jar it loose. Happens to fall right back into Brad Johnson's arms.
And a sack in the final 10 seconds. They run the rest of the time off the clock. So that will do it for the first half here in Tampa.
It was just an interesting series for the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense. I don't know what they were trying to do when they first got the ball back, and then at what point did they change their mind. But they were very fortunate right there that Brad Johnson fell right on top of that football. The Dallas Cowboys get that. They've got the opportunity to throw a Hail Mary into the end zone. So I think you've got to be more decisive when you take the field in that 2-minute situation.
Cowboys trail at halftime for the first time this season. Buccaneers 10, Cowboys nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader next week, 12 Eastern, 9.
He knows what matters. Today, he's teaching kids important lessons for life.
Now remember, these guys are like your linemen, and she is your tailback. And most importantly, this is a quarterback, protected at all costs.
So is this a Hail Mary?
No, that would be checkmate.
First half is all said and done here in Tampa, where the Buccaneers lead the Cowboys 10-0. Coming up.
You're watching the NFL.
Cowboys action from Texas Stadium, featuring a 2-time Super Bowl champion coach.
We can't fail at this. We have to be successful.
A dangerous deep threat.
Galloway broke a tackle. He's going to score.
And a young defensive star.
Intercepted by Roy Williams. Into the end zone. Leaping, dotting the I. Touchdown. Hit, intercepted by Roy Williams to the goal line. Touchdown.
The 2003 Dallas Cowboys. Call now for tickets.
We get set for the second half here in Tampa. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa Darryl, the Cowboys find themselves in a very unfamiliar position for the first time all season. They trail at halftime.
And they played very poorly in the second quarter. That has been their strongest quarter in the first half. So it will be interesting to see how they respond. Now, last week against Detroit, they came out and did not play early in the football game. They had a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. They struggled on the offensive side of the ball, but they got that turned around actually 28-7 at half. Bill Parcells' big concern is how does his team respond as we get later into the game. 10-0 going into the second half. He's going to find something out about his football team.
How about Tampa Bay? They have not yet won at home this season. They started slow and then picked up the pace in the second quarter.
They had a great second quarter, and a lot of the things were opportunities that the Dallas Cowboys were giving to them. So two very different quarters in that first half. Tampa Bay took advantage of their opportunities. The Dallas Cowboys did not.
Buccaneers, as is pointed out on every telecast, every season, have never returned a kickoff for a touchdown.
That's amazing when you think of it, though.
What do you think will happen when they finally do it?
Everybody's going to throw away that graphic.
Aaron Stecker stopped 73 yards shy. As we say hello once again to Tony.
What's up, guys? The Dallas Cowboys at halftime talked a little bit about sticking with the game plan, trying to establish the run. But at some point, they're going to have to try and open it up. Down by 10 points. Very unfamiliar area for them. Can't wait to see what happens.
You just wonder why it has taken this long. And we saw a little bit of it the opening drive of the second quarter. They got into the passing game, used some play action, but they never really came back to it. They seemed content to try and keep this game close and get into the second half. But we talked about it just a few minutes ago. That was a concern about how they would respond.
Michael Pittman on first down, spins across the 30 out to the 33-yard line, gain of 6 before he was tackled by second-year free safety Roy Williams, setting up second down and 4.
And that guy is going to be a future Hall of Famer. I really feel that Roy Williams, he could at some point possibly be mentioned with a guy named Ronnie Lott.
Wow.
And when you're talking about people in that expertise of their position, that style of play, I really think that Roy Williams has the potential to be as good as Ronnie Lott. He is a huge, fast, physical safety.
Here's Stecker looking to cut it back inside, and we have seen Ronnie Lott's son, Ryan Neese, in on a number of plays, starting linebacker for the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Well, Ronnie was a guy that you had to account for wherever he was on the football field. You found out where number 42 was, and just a great team leader and a great guy when you get a chance to meet him. And to be talking about a player that could reach into his class is saying an awful lot.
Look at Ryan Neese, son of Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott.
Got him.
Third down and 3. Bucks have to get to the 37 for a first down. Johnson lobbing one up for Pittman, who makes the catch, and 2 flags. Dexter Coakley on the coverage. Pittman into Cowboys territory, 26-yard pass play.
Also got a flag back in the pocket.
So this one's coming back. 3 flags on the play.
Dexter Coakley just launching out, giving everything he's got. He gets there a little bit early. An aggressive play call by John Gruden on 3rd and 3.
There are 2 fouls on the play, and they were offset. Holding, 60, offense, pass interference, number 52 on the defense. Penalties offset. Replay 3rd down.
Cozy Coleman, the right guard, called for holding. John Gruden not very happy, to say the least.
I thought it was funny when we talked to Brad Johnson, and you see a different personality of John Gruden on the broadcast. He's always angry. He's got all these facial expressions, and Brad says once you break through all that and you get to really know him, he's actually a great guy. But very, very good to us, very open in his discussions. But yeah, he's got that persona from afar that's kind of intimidating.
Johnson on 3rd and 3. Pass was high, intended for Carl Williams. Another flag. And Brad also told us initially, when I came over to the sidelines, I would not look at John. I would listen to him, but I didn't want to see what kind of expressions he was using.
Ball was thrown already in the air. 4th down.
Well, you've seen a lot of them, and yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, you know, as a player, when you've made a mistake and you're coming off to the side, you don't have to have anybody tell you what you did wrong. You already know that, and to be coming over and seeing one of his classic faces of disgust in what just happened is not the one thing you want to see. So come over, keep your head down, don't make eye contact, and just listen to what he has to say.
Tom Tupa back at his own 20. Joey Galloway and single safety for the Cowboys.
Line drive.
Taken at the 21 by Galloway. Returning punts for the first time this season. 7-yard return out to the 28. Hank Poteet in his first game with the Bucs made the tackle.
FL Sunday is brought to you by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Cowboys trailing 10-0. Quincy Carter has been in this situation before in this stadium. Only time he played here at Raymond James Stadium as a sophomore at Georgia, the Outback Bowl, Darryl. Georgia trailed Purdue 25-0. Came back to win the game behind Quincy Carter, 28-25. Cowboys trailing 10-0. Starting from their own 28-yard line. Carter complete. Richie Anderson out of the backfield. And Anderson picks up the first down, gain of 11, out to the 39.
And that's what the Tampa Bay defense is designed to do. It's not going to give up the big plays when they play this style discipline the way that Monty Kiffin has taught them. You're going to have to check the ball down. You're going to have to be patient. What it's all built around is the theory that an offense can't go 10, 12, 14 plays without putting themselves in a position with a penalty, with a negative play to sustain that drive. And what has been frustrating for them this year is they've given up those big plays that you never saw those before this year. And that is the one area that's been a concern for everybody on the defense.
Now the Bucs have given up leads. You think back to that Indianapolis game on Monday night. They led by 21 with just over 5 minutes remaining as Carter is taken down. Warren Sapp loses his helmet, but picks up his 3rd sack of the season.
Well, he's got to get over to the sideline and get to the equipment guy. And that's the second time that's come off today. But on both occasions, Warren Sapp has not stopped, and he's going up against Larry Allen right there. What a great counter. He gets Larry leaning out to his left and then rips across. Larry pops his helmet off, and Warren doesn't miss a beat. And that's the thing. Tony, tell him about the counters that you saw on that tape. How many moves he can throw at you in a short amount of time.
Unbelievable. But I want to talk a little bit about Warren Sapp. He loves when his helmet comes off. That guy wants to be on TV worse than you do, Moose.
Well, pass is picked off by Rondé Barber. Second Buccaneers interception of the afternoon. Second pick for Barber, and he returns it 24 yards.
One of the areas that Bill Parcells was not happy with the play last week on the offensive side of the ball were things he called heaves by Quincy Carter, throwing the ball into areas where they shouldn't be. Look right there. There is no reason to throw that ball. There are 3 Tampa Bay defenders. Rondé Barber sits on it. He breaks across the face. You've got him right there. And then there's 2 other players coming in on the play. There was no reason for Quincy Carter to throw that ball.
Quincy Carter threw only 5 interceptions over the first 6 games. He's been picked off twice today. Buccaneers with terrific field position. They start from the Cowboys 21. Looks to turn the corner and is taken out of bounds at the 15-yard line, gain of 6.
The defense being called on again on a short field. And it seems as though today everything that the Cowboys have done well up until this point this season, they're not getting done. We've seen some drop passes, some decisions by Quincy Carter that he has not made up until this point, putting balls into areas where there's an opportunity to create that short field. He got away with it last week, but it's come back and bitten him twice today.
Following the earlier interception by Phillips, Buccaneers brought it all the way down to the 1, but were held to a field goal following a penalty. Looking to capitalize following the Barber pick. Here's Pittman. And Michael Pittman has a first down at the Cowboys' 10-yard line.
And you can just see the confidence that this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team has gained since that first quarter. They come out of the game, started off very slowly, but since that second quarter, they go in at halftime. They maintain their momentum. They come out, make a big play on the defensive side of the ball, and you can see the offensive line now starting to take control of the line of scrimmage.
Darrell, under John Gruden, this is second season. Buccaneers have never lost back-to-back games. This year, they've alternated wins and losses over the first 6. Following a loss, Gruden's Bucks win their next game by an average of 18 points. From the 10, Pittman. Gains 2 down to the 8-yard line. Tony, you know what it's like to try and defend down by the goal line?
I'll tell you what, when you get into the red zone, that's when you cannot make a mistake. A team like this, you have to go out there and you have to do your job and not worry about everything else that's going on around you.
We saw in the first half when Tampa Bay got down into the red zone, actually penalties, things within their control that forced them to kick field goals and took away the opportunity for a touchdown.
Second and goal from the 8. Off the play fake. Johnson can't find anyone, and he throws it away.
It's just such a smart play by Brad Johnson. He knows that there's nobody open. He knows that he can't fit a ball in this situation. You just heard Tony talk about the fact that you can't make mistakes in the red zone. He's outside the pocket. He knows he can just throw the ball out of bounds, beyond the line of scrimmage, get back on third down, take another shot. Those are the things that you see from the veteran guys. And you know, it's amazing to me that we don't talk more about Brad Johnson when you look at what he's accomplished over the last year and a half here in Tampa Bay. His stats are extremely impressive.
I agree. He's brought 3 teams to the playoffs, gone to a couple of Pro Bowls, won the Super Bowl. Third and goal, Johnson throws it out of the end zone.
You know, he's always too slow. He's not mobile enough. He doesn't have the arm to make the throws that some of the quarterbacks have. Yet he just seems to find a way to get it done. And what they did last year with John Gruden coming in late in the offseason to get the head job and to come in and be able to do what they did offensively, hang in there, get better and better week after week, month after month, and win the Super Bowl in your head coach's first season, it is amazing. And to watch how all of a sudden Brad Johnson got the idea of the plan and was able to execute it more efficiently from week to week.
This a 26-yard attempt. Gramatica hit from 24 earlier. 2 for the holder. Gramatica's kick is good. But for the second time following a turnover, Cowboys hold the Bucs to 3 instead of 7.
Maybe I don't own a fancy building or a big shipping department yet. But Brown still takes my business seriously. I can print labels, track shipments, order a pickup right from here. And with the time I save, I can build my business. Maybe I'm not exactly...
I don't understand what everybody's talking about, you know, an intimidating face. This looks like a nice, sweet, beautiful, charming kid. A couple freckles. I mean, I would go up to this guy and ask him advice. I don't understand what these people are having all these problems with. Crazy.
Obviously didn't see the movie.
No. John Gruden, affectionately known as Chucky, here in the Tampa area. His Buccaneers out to a 13-0 lead. Derek Ross. Ross out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Early third quarter, Buccaneers leading 13-0. Cowboys only 66 yards in the air. And you have to give credit to this Buccaneers secondary without Lynch, without Kelly. A couple of youngsters who have not seen much action. They've done a nice job. Pass deflected at the line, 2nd and 10. Coming up.
Well, the big thing last week was you weren't seeing the Buccaneers defense play their style of defense. And this afternoon, it has been totally different. And the big plays have not been there. The discipline has been there. And you mentioned it, Kenny. I mean, the big talk coming into this was all the injuries in the secondary, and yet that is the group that is really playing the best so far. They've created the 2 interceptions, And Dallas has not been able to get anything over the top. Monty Kiffin said he would put those guys in a position to be successful, and he has done that this afternoon.
Anderson short game. Look at Phillips, who had started only 2 games in his career. He had an interception, 41-yard return. Tim Wansley making his first career start. He was burned by Marvin Harrison in that Monday night game. He's played well today.
They did a great job early in the week in Tampa Bay of not letting it become a distraction before it could become an excuse. They nipped it in the bud early. Hey, yeah, we got guys banged up, but that's happening everywhere. This is our system. This is how we play it. We expect the guys who are backups to be able to come in and fill those roles. We're not changing anything.
Cowboys spreading the field. 3rd down and 8. They have to get to the 31 to move the chains. And they do. First catch of the day for the rookie tight end out of Tennessee, Jason Witten. Gain of 15 yards on the play.
And there's a tough guy for you right there. He's playing with a broken jaw that happened a couple of weeks ago. And you know that every time he gets hit, he's feeling that. And it takes a lot to come onto the field when you know you're not 100%, when you know every time that you block with your helmet, when you take a shot in the secondary, that you're going to feel that injury.
A jaw broken in a game against Arizona, hit by Ronald McKinnon, Cardinals middle linebacker. 1st and 10, 38-yard line. Off the play fake to Anderson. Carter was in trouble. Looked to dump it off to Anderson, but could not make the connection.
Dallas is trying to run a screen, but Chartrick Darby comes around the outside. Richie Cunningham tries to get him. Here he is. He's going to loop all the way up to the outside. They don't give him shoved out enough. Richie tries to slow him down, but he's still able to affect the throw of Quincy Carter. Good individual effort by Chartrick Darby.
I guess you're still thinking about some of those old kickers. Richie Cunningham, one of the many kickers that have...
I always do that when I have these guys with Richie Anderson. Played with Richie Cunningham, was a big fan of Happy Days growing up.
Right. Carter, nearly intercepted by Derek Brooks.
And now you know that Quincy's pressing a little bit right now at this point, because one of the things that he talked to us about was the corners and the safeties are always going to be in certain positions, but I've got to worry about Derek Brooks and Shelton Quarles because they will read my eyes, and if I'm not careful, I can lead them right to where I'm throwing the ball. I can't stare down my receiver. The pressure right there, all of a sudden he knows he has to get away with, the ball has to come out. He starts to stare at him. Derek Brooks is the best in the league at watching the eyes of the quarterback and making a break on the ball.
3rd down and 10. Cowboys have to get to the 48. Play action. Carter in trouble. Down he goes. Lost the football. Ellis wins with his 2nd sack of the season. 3rd Buccaneers sack.
Of getting in there and getting that football right before one of the defensive linemen from Tampa Bay could fall on it.
Toby Goins' 5th punt of the day. Tim Wansley back at his own 25. Bouncing out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
This wedding gift from my husband's aunt. But I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Friendly nonstop service all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By Subway, good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh. By the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4. And by Visa, if you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
Darryl, you and I and Tony were in Buffalo for the Redskins and Bills. I didn't see any volleyball matches up in Buffalo.
No, not a lot of beaches to go string up a volleyball net in Buffalo.
Beautiful afternoon here in Tampa. Buccaneers 0-2 at home, leading 13-0. Pittman out to the 31 before he's forced back. Gain of 3 on the play. Lynn Scott made the tackle.
You take a look at that bench right there, and you can see leaving the field after that last series that the sack to the quarterback, they had pressure during that entire series, and you could see the enthusiasm on the Tampa Bay side, and Dallas walked off with their heads down. Bill Parcells wondered how his team would respond as the game progressed later if they were behind, and right now I know they're not reacting the way he would hope.
Bill told us yesterday we haven't been punched in the mouth yet. Cowboys out to a 5-1 start. Lost their opener to Atlanta and have won 5 in a row. Caught at midfield by Keenan McCardell. Penalty marker as McCardell takes it down to the Cowboys 45. 23-yard pass play. And the flag is against Dallas.
Brad Johnson comes up to the line of scrimmage. Darren Woodson drops down into the box, becomes the 8th guy. He audibles at the line of scrimmage and goes for a big play. So this half, Tampa Bay has been very aggressive in their play calling in critical situations.
Holding. 41, defense. That penalty has declined. Result of the play, first down.
We saw earlier this half in a 3rd and 3 situation where they threw a long ball with Michael Pittman against Dexter Coakley, but here's your safety, comes down in here. You've got the audible, and they're doing an out and up with Keenan McCardell on the outside. So there has been a shift in the play calling philosophy of John Gruden in the second half.
From the Cowboys 45, the pitch to Pittman. And Pittman gains 4 down to the 41-yard line. 5.5 to go, 3rd quarter from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Kenny Albert with Darryl Johnston, Tony Saragusa. Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading the Dallas Cowboys by the score of 13-0. 76 yards on the ground so far for Pittman.
One of the things that, as they watched film, that Brad Johnson talked to us about was he didn't really feel that anybody had attacked Dallas's defense. They had played well to stop people, but they really were never under pressure or under attack from the opposition's offense. That seems to be their MO this half.
Off the play fake. Pass caught by the fullback, Jameel Cook. His 8th reception of the season. Down to the 39, about 4 yards shy of the marker.
And there's a guy who breaks his hand during the practice week and comes out here and has played a great game, because we have yet to call anybody going up against Ruben Oben's number. So it's just amazing what these guys are able to do. You know, put stuff out of their mind, go out there, execute their assignments, playing through the pain.
Broke his hand on Thursday. Was right back out in practice on Friday. Penalty markers. A correction, a timeout called by Johnson with the play clock winding down.
LeBron James making NFL Sunday is brought to you by Microsoft. Your potential, our passion.
Buccaneers leading the Cowboys 13-0. Well, to stop a weapon that has no cure, you need a man who knows no limits. Tuesday, Kiefer Sutherland returns with a new season of 24, presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150. That's the season premiere of 24, Tuesday, right here on Fox. Buccaneers today 0 for 8 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 4. Bucks have to get to the 35. And they do. But there is a flag. Keenan McCardell with the reception, a gain of 9. It's against the Cowboys.
Twelve men on defense. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, first down.
Well, that's just a lack of concentration by the Dallas Cowboys defense. That was after a timeout that Tampa Bay had just called on the previous play. So they had all the time in the world to get everything situated. And what we've seen during the course of this football game today are things that we haven't seen from the Dallas Cowboys during their 5-game winning streak. There's things that are within their control that they're not getting accomplished. And they're allowing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to extend drives to give them opportunities. You can't do that to a championship caliber football team.
Well, the Bucs couldn't pick up a first down with 11 men on the field, yet they're 1 for 1 going up against 12 Cowboys. On first down, Pittman, no gain. Willie Blade made the tackle.
Yeah. It's amazing, guys, how I'm standing here watching the Dallas Cowboys, how flat they are right now. I'll tell you what, if they don't get their head screwed on right, we're going to be witnessing an ass whooping right here. Tampa Bay is getting momentum. The offense is feeding off the defense's momentum. It's really not a good sight right now for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the big thing, the defense has been on the field so much this game. I mean, they're not used to being out there in an extended afternoon. And with the heat here, this is something brand new for them. They're going to wear it down here pretty quick.
Seems like they're wore down already, Gal.
Oh, Johnson's pass nearly picked off by the former Buck, Al Singleton. Darryl, I wish Tony told us what he really felt.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit more honest and upfront when he's got stuff down there.
Sorry.
Not animated enough.
It just gets me pissed, man. You see, you have an opportunity to go and play the world champions. I mean, everybody wants this opportunity. You're 5-1. Everybody's talking about you. Show us something, man. You can't. It's the third quarter. You got 3 minutes left, and this is the time where you got to go and suck it up. This is where Bill Parcells, guys go and make a difference, and I don't see that here today.
Now third down and 10. Aaron Stecker, as the Bucs keep it on the ground, and Stecker loses 2 yards. That win first Cowboy in on the tackle, so John Gruden sends out the field goal unit. Martin Gramatica has already connected twice today from 24 and 26.
Well, nobody has really given the Dallas Cowboys credit for what they've accomplished up until this point. Today was an opportunity for them to go out and make a statement across the NFL that we are for real. We beat a team, coming off a loss, something that had never happened in a year and a half. And we heard the audio at the beginning of the game. We got to go out there and take it. These are the champions. And I agree with Tony. We're not seeing them rise to that level as of yet.
50-yard attempt by Gramatica. It is straight through. Gramatica's career-long 55. He connects here from 50, extending the Buccaneers' lead to 16-0. Gramatica's longest field goal of the season. 3 for 3 today after coming in just 3 of 7. Well, next week it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with America's #1 pregame show. Many of you will see the Buccaneers and the Saints, followed by the Redskins and the Cowboys, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, next Sunday on Fox. And for those of you down in Dallas, the game against the Redskins next week, originally scheduled for a noon kickoff, Dallas time, will now be a 3:15 start. Second game of the Fox doubleheader, Cowboys and Redskins, next Sunday on Fox, as the Cowboys will play 4 of their next 5 at home. Buccaneers beginning a stretch today that will see them play 4 of their next 5 at home.
Hey, Tony.
So a 2:03 remaining in the third quarter. This kickoff goes through the end zone for a touchback. So the Cowboys trailing by 16 will start from their own 20-yard line as we check in once again with Chris Rose in Los Angeles. Chris?
All right, Kenny, earlier we saw Randy Moss beat the Giants deep. Here he just beats them from a yard out, but the same result, a touchdown, his 8th of the year and 2nd on the day, and the unbeaten Vikings lead the G-Men by 1 in the 3rd. And Tommy Maddox threw a pick on Steelers' first possession of the second half, but here he finds Hines Ward for the second time today, and the Steelers have a 1-point lead. Back to Tampa and Kenny.
All right, thanks very much, Chris. Cowboys starting from their own 20-yard line, trailing 16-0. Carter, incomplete. Quincy Carter on the day, 10 of 18, 81 yards. He's been picked off twice.
Well, you think about what these Dallas wide receivers have done during the course of the season so far. Two guys over 20 yards per catch, one guy approaching that, 17.9 as a trio, and today less than 10 yards per catch. So the secondary of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is winning this battle. And I still feel that Bill Parcells wanted to stay within his game plan, but at some point you needed to get outside of that comfort zone and challenge these young guys. And now they find themselves in a position where they have to do that.
Carter complete to Terry Glenn out to the 34-yard line. Gain of 14. His 3rd catch. Galloway has only 2, and Antonio Bryant without a reception.
And you can't say enough for the job that the secondary has done. Everything they talked about, we expect our guys that are backups to be able to step in, play our system, execute their assignments, and not miss a beat. And they have done that. And, Monty Kiffin's done a great job. And the tone was set early in the week, but still, as a defense, you've got this style that you play, you're doing everything. I still think that Dallas missed an opportunity to test that young secondary.
Carter testing the secondary right here. And the pass incomplete, intended for Antonio Bryant. Dwight Smith on the coverage. Corey Ivy celebrating.
Well, and rightfully so. He was the guy that Monty Kiffin talked about that would have to step up and have a big afternoon today. And obviously, with the stats that the wide receivers have put up, he's played very well, along with everybody that's new in that secondary. Jermaine Phillips, Dwight Smith, all these guys are doing a great job.
Similar to what took place early this season in Philadelphia, where the Eagles lost 3 Pro Bowlers from their secondary, and some of the youngsters filled in, did a fine job. First carry for Avion Cason, local product. We're up in St. Petersburg. Like Troy Hambrick has about 50 tickets for the game this afternoon. And Cason bottled up at the 35-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 9.
And there's Derek Brooks. You watch the eyes. He watches everything developing in front of him. Never takes his eye off the ball carrier, whether it's a running back with a ball in his hand, whether it's the quarterback in the pocket, looking downfield, trying to find the open receiver. Watches the flow, watches everything, breaks through small gaps, and makes plays.
Cowboys have to get to the 44 for a 1st down. Carter steps up, takes off, and is hit hard about a yard shy. Ellis Wims made the tackle. Looks to be about a yard shy of the 1st down marker.
Oh, what great hustle by Ellis Wims, all the way upfield on the pass pressure, and then just completely flying downfield. Quincy Carter, I think, is going to make the 1st down. He makes a nice cut to get inside, and Ellis Wims just hits him with everything from behind. There he is on the bottom of your screen going back inside, so now he's in the middle of everything. Watch him turn and chase right there. He doesn't give up on the play. If he's not the guy pursuing the ball, Quincy Carter has got a good chance of getting that 1st down.
Time winds down. That will do it for the 3rd quarter here in Tampa. 16-0 lead for the Bucs. Hey, there's Tony. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Back in Tampa, Kenny Albert, Daryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. 3 quarters in the books. Buccaneers leading 16-0. And Daryl, the Cowboys will go for it on 4th and 1 from their own 43-yard line.
Well, down 16 as we start the 4th quarter. Bill Parcells is running out of time for his team to be able to have a chance to get back in this football game. It looks like everything could hinge on this one play right here.
Cowboys need a yard. Glenn in motion. Play action. Potter's pass incomplete. Intended for Joey Galloway.
Tampa Bay played that absolutely perfectly. They had a guy in the shallow flat to cover Richie Anderson, and Shelton Quarles came screaming from the middle linebacker position to force Quincy Carter into a decision.
Today's brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. By IBM, official information technology partner of the NFL. By Gillette Mach-3 Turbo for the closest shave with less irritation, even against the grain. And by Sprint, proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones.
Welcome back. Early fourth quarter. Cowboys lose it on downs. And now the Bucs take over on the Dallas 43.
Actually a missed opportunity right there. Joey Galloway in a position to make that play, but can't come down with a very critical catch.
Buccaneers leading 16-0, looking to win at home for the first time this season. Inside handoff to Pittman. And Pittman gains 2 down to the Dallas 41.
I don't want you. Shelton Quarles is right here. He's the guy that's going to force Quincy. They're going to cover right here in the flat with this linebacker. But watch Shelton Quarles come out. Here comes Joey Galloway right here coming across. Quincy's got a shot right there to get him the ball, but this is played very well. The guy's covered in the flat. Then you had the linebacker Shelton Quarles moving from all the way up in the mix, up in the A gap, moves to the outside. Bill Parcells knows how important that conversion was right there.
Now 2nd and 8 from the 41. Pittman down to the 37-yard line. Setting up a 3rd down and 4. 1 minute in, fourth quarter. We were scoreless after 1. Buccaneers led 10-0 at the half, 16-0 after 3.
Just the Dallas Cowboys just not taking advantage of their opportunities, chances to make plays, and that was the thing that they had been doing all year. Joey Galloway, Antonio Bryant, and Terry Glenn were making incredible plays down the field in the passing game, and they haven't had as many opportunities today. We haven't tested that young Buccaneers secondary yet, but when they have been there, it seems as though they're just a little bit out of sync this afternoon compared to what they've been doing there on that 5-game winning streak.
Bucs have to get to the Dallas 33 for a first down. Johnson dumping it off. Intended for the fullback, Emil Cook, but he was covered by Dan Wynn. So the Bucs cannot convert. And despite the fact that Gramatica hit a 50-yard field goal just moments ago, he will not attempt a 54-yarder. Instead, John Gruden sends Tom Tupa out to punt.
I like this call because otherwise Dallas is going to get the ball at the spot of the kick, not at the spot of where it snapped, but the spot of the kick, so they would get it at their 44. Play field position right now. You're up 16. Force Dallas to drive the length of the field. They haven't proven to this point that they can do that.
So Tupa will try and pin the Cowboys deep in their own territory. Galloway, fair catch back at the 14-yard line. 23-yard punt, but field position the key.
Fox. The all-new Treehouse of Horror next Sunday.
Dallas Cowboys 5-1, first place in the NFC East, trailing the Tampa Bay Bucs 16-0. Cowboys start from their own 15-yard line following the punt. 3 wide receivers. Carter, a pump fake and a spin, and then the pass complete to Richie Anderson. Brought down at the 20-yard line by Warren Sapp. Gain of 6. Some extracurricular activity.
Part of the game. Part of the game. We've seen a lot of helmets off this afternoon, though.
Quincy Carter made his NFL debut September of 2001 against these Tampa Bay Buccaneers down in Dallas. He was 9 of 19 in that game. And these are his numbers in the 2 games against the Bucs. No touchdowns, 4 picks. 2nd down and 4. Terry Glenn tiptoeing up the sidelines. Looks to be just shy of the marker.
Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, who has not played their characteristic style a couple of times this season, back in the flow today, and they've really controlled the entire game. They have forced Dallas into second and third and longs, which is a position they want to be in. They want to play with the lead, and when you get behind against Tampa Bay, it becomes so difficult because now Simeon Rice and Anthony McFarland, Warren Sapp, they're not worried about the running game anymore. And that, to me, is the area today that has really been a problem for Dallas. There's been several third and short opportunities to extend the drive, and it looks like for the fourth time today, they're going to come up short.
Darryl, we talked about Larry Allen shaken up earlier. He is not in the game right now, replaced at left guard by second-year man Tyson Walter.
He was nicked up a little bit right before they went in at halftime, and didn't come out this series. Tyson Walter is in, but the Dallas Cowboys, for the fourth time today, on a third down with 2.5 yards or less, are unable to convert. And you have to have opportunities against this defense, and they have not taken advantage of situations where they have put themselves into a favorable third down position.
Toby going back at his own 10-yard line, his 6th punt today. Fair catch called for at the 40-yard line by Carl Williams. 36-yard punt. Terrific field position for the Bucs.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new H2. Hummer like nothing else.
Would you rather be out there, Darryl?
No, I'd rather be up here. But I know he'd rather be out there. There's Mike Allstott, whose season came to an end a couple of weeks ago with a neck injury. He's going to have surgery to get that corrected. So we wish Mike all the best for a speedy recovery.
Michael Pittman out to the 42-yard line, gain of 2. With Darian Barnes leading the way. Barnes, number 30. He and Jamil Cook splitting the fullback duties in the absence of Mike Allstott. 11 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Buccaneers 16-0 over the Cowboys. Tampa Bay looking to win at home for the first time this season. They've lost overtime games here for both Carolina and Indianapolis. They've gone 3-1 on the road. Second down and 8. Across the 45 to the 47. Pittman again. Gain of 5, setting up third down and 3.
Well, he has really run hard all afternoon, and the more you watch him play, he just is the same speed in the fourth quarter that he is when he takes the field. And that was Darren Woodson coming up that put the hit on him. And you don't usually bounce off at Darren Woodson.
I totally agree with you. That guy Pittman is running unbelievable. He's getting more yards after the first hit than anybody I've ever seen run the ball.
Pittman 88 yards today, gained 124 in the Super Bowl victory over Oakland last January. Johnson on 3rd and 3. Complete for the first down. Keenan McCardell forced out of bounds by Terrence Newman after a gain of 8 as the Buccaneers move the chains.
Brad Johnson, with time in the pocket, will find his open guy. He's not going to force anything. He's going to look downfield. If there's an opportunity for a big play, he'll exploit it and take advantage. But if it's not there, he will not force it. He will check down. He'll dump it off to a guy that's underneath. Give him the opportunity to make a play.
New set of downs for the Bucs. In Cowboys territory from the 45. Play clock has run all the way down.
And that's something that he's not going to be happy about.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
He takes a lot of pride in getting his team in and out of the huddle quickly to allow them an opportunity at the line of scrimmage to get into a play that has a chance to be successful. They don't do a lot of audibling at the line of scrimmage, but they actually come up to the line of scrimmage with multiple plays called. And depending on what the defense does, Brad will get the offense in the best play possible for that situation. So he has to create a tempo in and out of the huddle. So to have a delayed game, that is something that he talked to us about. It's something that he's really hard on himself when they happen during the game.
From midfield, it's Pittman. Gain of 3, and Brad Johnson, a guy who's played under many of the great offensive minds in the NFL. Brian Billick was his offensive coordinator in Minnesota. Tony's former head coach, and then North Turner, and now John Gruden. And Brad told us on Friday, he said, you know, I played for Billick, I played for Norv, and now I'm getting my PhD under John.
And what has happened down here in Tampa Bay is he's starting to understand why things are happening. When certain blitzes come during the game, whether it's a 4 weak or 4 strong, he knows what everybody else is doing. He says this is the first time in his career, and it was perfect timing to be with a guy like John Gruden, but he understands the game from a defensive perspective.
Here's Pittman on 2nd and 12. Out of bounds at the 47. No gain on the play as we check in with Chris Rose in Los Angeles.
All right, Kenny. Mark Bolter with more than 300 yards passing today, but it's Arlen Harris, the undrafted free agent out of Virginia, doing it from 9 yards out as the Rams regain the lead 27-21. And guys, stop making fun of Tony's shirt. I'm just thankful he's wearing one today.
All right, Chris. But Tony, we talked about Brian Billick from the inside. You were in that Ravens locker room. How much did he mean to the offense?
Everything. But then again, our defense meant everything to him.
Well, we know that.
Got him. Can't talk Ravens. Even on the offense of the ball, we can't talk Ravens without the defense.
Well, you can talk Ravens. Ravens offense is a little touchy subject.
3rd down and 13. Johnson with loads of time. Penalty marker as the pass was caught by McCardell. Picks up the 1st down.
You got to be subtle with those moves at the top of the route.
Bill Carollo sorting things out.
Illegal contact, 27 prior to the pass. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
You can't have contact beyond 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Little stutter right there. And what Mario Edwards does, he has to allow Keenan McCardell. He can't put his arm out there and prevent him from taking that position on the field. It was a double move. He bit on that little stutter a little bit, but he can't alter Keenan McCardell's route or his path on the rest of that route.
Bucs decline the penalty, so a 1st down following the catch by McCardell from the 33. Pittman short game. And he lost the football, but looks like he was ruled down by the umpire, Tony Mahalik. Look at rookie quarterback Chris Sims out of the University of Texas on the Buccaneers sidelines. Of course, his father Phil won a Super Bowl playing for Bill Parcells.
He's studying for his undergrad in John Gruden's system, but I don't think there's a better place that Chris Sims could have landed. And as you talk, Brad Johnson, he comes out and says that you see it from a different perspective. You learn things that you didn't know. And for Chris to have that from his beginning of his career all the way through, I think it's going to be very beneficial for him to have been in this system and Coach Gruden.
There's Stecker. Remember, Sims lasted until the last pick of the 3rd round. He was not happy about it, but it may turn out for the best in the long run to be able to come to a team such as Tampa Bay, learn under Gruden. We asked Bill Parcells about Chris Sims yesterday. He said, I remember him as an infant, and then over the next couple of years running around the Giants practice facility during the late 80s, early 90s.
It's just amazing that you could be around somebody that long and watch him progress through everything. You spend time with his father, you meet him at that stage of his life, and find yourself across the sideline looking at the little guy who was running around the locker room years and years ago.
3rd down and 6, under 6 minutes to play. Incomplete, intended for McCardell. So you look at Parcells, Darrell on one sideline, Gruden 22 years his junior. And in talking to Parcells yesterday about Gruden, he said, I don't know the kid, called him a kid, but I like him.
And there's a lot to like. And you know, one of the things that we talked to Coach Parcells about was John Gruden. One of the things he will do is he'll go back and get old highlights and clips from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He wants his players to have an appreciation for the history of the game, and it was something that Bill Parcells always felt very strongly about. He likes guys that know the game because it means that at some point they were a big fan of the game. They're playing it because they love the game, not because of the financial rewards.
48-yard attempt for Gramatica. And he pulls this one wide to the left. Parcells also loves sons of coaches, and John Gruden's father, a longtime coach and scout. Still 16-0.
So avoid the rush and run out and get the Hulk 2-disc special edition. Unleash the groundbreaking special effects secrets that are too big for one DVD. It'll blow you away. Hulk. Buy it Tuesday.
Buccaneers 5 minutes 45 seconds away from their first home victory of the season, leading the Cowboys 16-0. Dallas only 145 yards on offense. They picked up only 7 first downs. They turned the ball over twice and spread the field on first down with 4 wide receivers. Carter complete out at the 43-yard line. Avion Cason makes his first reception. Some defensive leaders, Derek Brooks, 7 tackles. Ellis Wims, a big sack earlier. Carter out of the shotgun. And a little shovel pass to Cason. Cason into Buccaneers territory for a first down.
Oh, nice job by Quincy Carter, staying alive, flipping the ball to Avion Cason. But there's the big surprise right there. Jermaine Phillips getting his first start at strong safety, comes in with a big performance today.
Warren Sapp shaken up on that last play.
And the last thing they need is to have more injuries to some of the key people on that defensive unit. It's weird how when the injury bug hits your team, it doesn't matter what happens. It seems like every game you're having somebody get nicked up or that's going to have a nagging injury that's going to stay with them for a couple of weeks.
Without John Lynch, without Brian Kelly today, still shutting out the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Cason out of the backfield. And the former Lion down the sidelines. Finally out of bounds at the 22, a 28-yard catch and run by Avion Cason.
He's really come in and added a little spark here in this series with his speed, his potential to break away. The little flip from Quincy Carter on the previous play. This a screen pass right here, but watch. He's known as a speed guy, but watch as he gets through right there. That's a nice job of running through a couple of arm tackles, something that Monty Kiffin is not going to be happy with. I'm sure he wants to see this defense finish this game with a shutout. And right there, they put themselves in a position of jeopardy because they're going back to those old things that crept up on them last week, missed tackles.
Longest play today by the Cowboys on offense. From the 22. Carter steps up and then is taken down. Shartrek Darby with his first sack of the season, the 4th sack for the Bucs today.
Well, the Dallas Cowboys stayed in max protection. They've got 2 guys going out on the route, Terry Glenn and Joey Galloway. Those are your only 2 wide receivers. Right now, Quincy Carter has got to pull that ball down because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in a zone coverage. There was nowhere to go with it in a 2-man route. He needed to just throw it out of bounds or pull it down and try and make something positive.
Cowboys have not been shut out since Christmas Day 2000. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Inside handoff to Richie Anderson. Barber read the play. He was not faked out. And the Buccaneers have recovered.
Just one of those days for the Dallas Cowboys offense. Avion Cason comes in and gives them a little bit of a spark. But on that play right there, he puts the ball on the ground. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they do it better than anybody in the league. They create turnovers, and it's not by accident. These guys are schooled. They practice at it. Guys come in. When they make a tackle, they're punching at the ball. The pursuit to the ball makes good thing happen. You don't miss your tackles. You outnumber the opposition when the ball goes on the ground. Rondé Barber, that guy's done a tremendous job this week on the practice field and on the game today, because he's your one guy that has the experience out there, and he's been a big help for everybody else. Flozell Williams just kind of opens the gate and lets Rondé come in. Gets a clean shot on Avion Cason.
Cowboys committed only 7 turnovers coming into this game over their first 6. They've turned it over 3 times today. So the Buccaneers with a chance to run off some clock here, preserve the shutout. The pitch to Michael Pittman. Brought down at the 29 by Dexter Coakley, no gain. Tremendous job by our entire crew. As always, our producer, Bob Snetter, director, Sandy Grossman, associate director, Charles McDonald, sideline producer, Jacob Ullman, broadcast associates, Wayne Wilson and Michael Peoples, technical producer, Bob Muller. Pre-game show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. The studio technical supervisor is Jack Simmons. Senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports, Ed Gorin and David Hill. Our statistician, Eric Merlis, spotter, Ben Boba, Mike Eldridge, Charlie Downmeyer, down in the truck, helping crunch the numbers as well. 2nd and 10. And Pittman wrestled down at the 33-yard line by Darren Woodson with 3:15 remaining.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just always find a way to bounce back, and everybody started to question whether they were suffering a little bit of Super Bowl hangover, whether some other issues had crept up, but they stayed true. You know, they took all the blame on themselves. Everything that's going wrong is within our control right now, and we just got to get back to playing the way that we know we can play. And the Dallas Cowboys coming in an opportunity to make a statement. I think they're going to learn a lot about themselves today. Sometimes you lose the football game, but you learn a lot about their team, and I'm sure they're going to find out some critical areas that they have to continue to improve in after this football game.
3rd and 6. And a big hole for Michael Pittman, who picks up another Bucs first down. He needed 6. He gained 9.
They stay with their plan. They continue to work hard. And Michael Pittman, he seems to get stronger as the game progresses. There's a few running backs out there that they need to be handed the ball 10, 12, 15 times before they get into that rhythm. And Michael Pittman seems to fit into that category. As the game wears on, he is running more physical every play, always downhill, always breaking tackles, forcing people to really wrap up at the end of the game.
28 carries, 103 yards. Second 100-yard game this season for Pittman. 2-minute warning here in Tampa.
When you care about your car, you want to keep it protected. No one understands that like your State Farm agent. We live where you live. That's why more people insure their cars with State Farm than anyone else, because we care about you the way you care about your car.
Two minutes remaining here in Tampa. Buccaneers will play 3 of the next 4, Darryl, here at home.
And trying to string together back-to-back victories for the first time this year, going against New Orleans, who knocked them off twice last year. Then the rematch with Carolina, and that has to be the big concern right now, is the inconsistency of the Tampa Bay football team. Winning one week, losing the next, not being able to string together solid performances.
Aaron Stecker out to the 47-yard line. Cowboys will play 4 of their next 5 games at home.
But they're going into the toughest part of their schedule during the course of the season, and you look at the records of those teams right there, 3 division leaders, so it's going to be a tough time, and Coach Parcells knew that coming into this game. He knew that he was going to find out a lot about his football team over the next 5 to 6 weeks, and unfortunately for him, he found out some bad news today. But I still think they're ahead of where he wants them to be, but they're still not at the level of a team like Tampa Bay. And when you had a team that had some injuries in the secondary, I think they missed an opportunity not to try to exploit that. I don't think they're at the position yet where they can impose their will on a team as talented as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
There's Stecker. And Bill Parcells said earlier this week, he said, my expectations are greater than the average fan, but more realistic than the top prognosticators.
Well, they're going to exceed just about all the expectations from anybody around the country. I mean, 3 consecutive 5-11 seasons. You don't expect him to have the impact that he's had on this group as quickly as he did, but they've had some early success in the season. They've bought into his philosophy, and they're doing a good job of executing it. But the game today shows them that there's a long way to go. And, you know, Tampa Bay has not played well consistently all season, but they came out and they played well again today when they had to. In a situation where there was an opportunity for distraction or excuses because of the injuries, they stayed focused, they came out, they started slow, but they found a way to get into a rhythm and finish this game.
Here's Pittman, cutting to the outside, picks up the first down. Darrell, as your partner Dick Stockton returns next week, I just wanted to thank you, Tony, and the entire crew for the hospitality over the last 3 weeks.
It's been a lot of fun, Kenny. Enjoy working with you. This little spot during the year where we get 3 weeks to spend time together.
And the story, Darrell, today, the turnovers. Cowboys committed 3. Cowboys only 9 first downs, 178 total yards, as Bill Parcells' club drops to 5-2. Tampa Bay Buccaneers now 4-3. Speaking of Dick Stockton, we send you to the Giants and Vikings with Dick, Troy Aikman, and Chris Collinsworth.
We're in the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes remaining.